For my entire life, I have been obsessed with robots. I love going to theme parks and looking at the incredible robots there. I love watching videos of robots and technology online. And I have come this close to spending $3,000 on a pet robot dog. But the reason why I didn't was because I know after a couple of weeks, the thrill is going to wear off and I'm not going to use it anymore. But I found the perfect answer to all of my robot desires. I went out and purchased the most advanced cleaning robot currently on the market. This thing absolutely blows my mind. And of course the novelty will wear off, but when it does, it will still be cleaning my house. A few months ago, I splurged and I bought the brand new iRobot J7 Plus, which is a really advanced robot vacuum. It's got cameras that can map your room. It can also recognize what's in front of it, so it's not going to run over things like cables or socks that are going to get it stuck. Now, I was really happy with this robot right up until I upgraded to the Roborock S7 Max V Ultra. Now, if I could quickly sum up what makes this product so special, it's not just a robot vacuum, it's also a robot mop that holds its own water and it scrubs the floor as it goes. But it can also recognize hard floors and it can also recognize carpet. And when it senses carpet, it raises that mop pad so it doesn't get your carpets wet. But probably the most exciting part to me is the base that not only can clean the mopping pad, it can also refill the robot with cleaning solution and water, and it will also suck the dustbin clean so you don't have to worry about that either. And basically any feature you've ever heard of that another brand robot vacuum or mop can do, this can do it, but it will do it even better. Setting this up was extremely easy, and the way you connect the robot to your Wi-Fi is by downloading the app on your phone. It creates a QR code that shows up on your phone screen, and you simply hold it in front of the robot vacuum and the cameras notice it and instantly grab your Wi-Fi network and password from your phone. The robot has both a microphone and speaker on board, and so anytime it's doing something, it will just tell you, and it's very easy to understand what's going on. With my Roomba robots in the past, it's giving me these numbered errors, and then you're having to go to a website and decipher what that error means. It's crazy. This is a much better system. Now, when you first turn the robot on, it's going to start mapping the room that you're in. And I thought my Roomba did a pretty good job of this. In hindsight, it was horrific at mapping compared to this Roborock. Instead of using the cameras to try to map the room, it's using a spinning LiDAR laser on the top of the robot that can work in daylight and in complete darkness. And the speed and the accuracy of the map that it creates is incredible. My Roomba took a full week to create a working map of my downstairs area, and even that wasn't very accurate. The S7 did it in one pass in just a few minutes. And not only is it mapping out the entire room, it's also mapping out furniture as well as the floor type. Underneath it has some sort of sensor that can determine if it's hardwood or carpet, and it's mapping that as well. Once the map was created, I could move the robot anywhere on my downstairs floor, set it on the ground, turn it on, and it will spin around once and we'll try to figure out where it is in the map, and using those lasers, it can figure it out and start cleaning immediately. Now, I have a 2-story house, so I was interested to see what the robot would do when you put it in a new location, and I put it upstairs, turned it on.
Positioning. Stand by. Positioning failed. Starting new clean.
And in under an hour, it had mapped my entire upstairs and saved that as well. Now, the other benefit of having these super accurate maps is that you can tell the robot where you want it to go and where you want it to stay away from. I have this piece of furniture right here behind me, and there's this little piece of metal that's below the camera, and the robot had gotten stuck going over it and then it couldn't get back out. Easily in the application on my phone, I can just mark that area out and say, never go in this area again. All right, let's talk about cleaning ability and comparing the Roborock to my previous Roombas. First of all, I noticed that the Roborock is incredibly quiet. The other thing that I noticed is that the Roborock is much more gentle when it comes into banging into things. The old Roombas used to bang into everything at 100%, and I could see marks around the entire bottom of my house and all my furniture where it bumped into everything. The J7 Plus is better. It has cameras that it can tell when it's about to hit something and it'll hit it a little less vigorously. But the Roborock does an incredible job of, in many cases, not even touching things. It will go up to curtains, and instead of driving up on the curtains and sometimes sucking the curtains up like my Roomba likes to do. It will get near the curtain and just kind of go along the outside of the curtain. Again, this makes it so much more pleasant when you're in the room or in an adjacent room. You probably won't even hear this thing cleaning, whereas with the Roomba, you'll hear that vacuum going, and then of course you'll be hearing the banging as it runs into everything. The auto-cleaning dock on both of these robots is pretty loud. However, the Roomba is extremely loud. It almost sounds like somebody starting up a leaf blower inside your house when this thing sucks its bin dry. And I've actually had it wake me up in the middle of the night while it was cleaning as well. Even though I'm on the other side of the house on another floor in a concrete structure, I can still hear this thing sucking. The Roborock base is not quiet by any means, but it is very quiet in comparison to the Roomba, and so far it has never once woken me up while I sleep.
Emptying dustbin.
Let's talk about this mopping feature because this is really what you're paying for here. Like I said, the app gives you 3 different options on the amount of water you want it to spray and how much you want it to actually try to clean the floor. I personally keep it on the lower water setting just so that it gives me more time in between cleanings that I have to fill up that clean water tank and empty the dirty water tank. While it's cleaning, approximately every 20 minutes, it goes back to its dock, it backs itself in. The dock cleans the cleaning pad on the back, empties that dirty water into a separate tank, fills up the tank that's built into the robot itself, and then off it goes again to continue cleaning. I feel like we're a pretty clean family. We take our shoes off at the door, but I am shocked every time I dump out this dirty water tank. I'm like, where did all this dirt come from? Now, of course, one of the big features with all of these new robots is that they have cameras that can determine what's in front of them so that they don't run over things and get stuck like cables or socks or dog poop or whatever it might be. And both the Roomba and the Roborock have done a pretty good job of this. My son throws toys all over the floor, and instead of pushing them around or running over them, both robots have done a really good job of seeing them and just moving around them. That being said, neither one is perfect, and just recently my Roborock, coming up here in my office, which is an absolute wreck down here on the floor, picked up one of my lav mics, sucked it up, rolled it up in its rollers, and then got stuck, and I got a warning on my phone, so I had to come and untangle that. That being said, it's a very thin wire, and it's on a carpet with a lot of pattern all over it. So it's not going to be perfect in every situation, but it's certainly better than the old robots that would just run over everything. And for all you tech heads out there, you can remote control the robot as well. You can communicate using the microphone and speaker with somebody else in your house. For instance, if you had a pet or somebody at home, you can drive the robot over to them and communicate through it. That's kind of crazy. And then check this out in the app here. Under maintenance, you can see the life of each of the pieces of this robot that will have to be replaced over time. I mean, this feels so much more advanced than my $50,000 car. It's all being kept track of for me in the app. I just find this to be really cool. Now, I've saved probably the most important feature for last, and that is that this robot works perfectly in pitch black darkness. The new Roombas that use cameras to detect where they are in your house must have some sort of light in the room to navigate around. And with my J7 Plus, if I start that going at night and I don't have lights on downstairs, it will just go back to its dock and give me an error. Since I've gotten the Roborock, I've never had to leave the lights on downstairs. It cleans every single night. It has never once gotten stuck. It has never once woken me up. And the only thing I have to deal with every 3 or 4 days is filling up the water tank and dumping out the dirty water tank. So the question is, do I recommend this robot? I wish I could say absolutely, but this thing is expensive. It's $1,400. I think I spent over $1,600 after shipping and tax. And that is a lot of money for something that's just going to be cleaning your floor. You could pay somebody to come to your house and clean for $1,500 for quite a while. I realize that this robot is an incredible splurge. This is not cheap. But if you're anything like me and you really appreciate a clean house, and more importantly, you love robots and technology, you're gonna love the Roborock.